Assalamualaikum to my classmate and my lecturer, Madam Dr. Munira Binti Salim. We will present about the operational framework between Maybank Islamic and Qatar Islamic Bank. For the opening of the presentation, let me first share about company profile of Maybank Islamic and Qatar Islamic Bank. In the company profile, I will share 4 items which are corporate data, main activity, board of directors, and financial information. Let's move to corporate data of Maybank Islamic first. Maybank Islamic Berhad, the Islamic banking arm of the Maybank Groups. Maybank Group is the leading provider of Islamic financial products and services in Asia. As one of the industry's global leaders, Maybank Islamic spearhead the Islamic banking and finance industry through cross-border business in retail and investment banking and the development of new, innovative, and competitive proposition. It offers a wide range of products and services across more than 354 Maybank touchpoints in Indonesia, as well as international operation in Dubai, Indonesia, Singapore, Hong Kong, London, and Labuan. Maybank Islamic's aspiration and ambition to remain a global player in the industry is backed by its center of excellence with the aim of becoming top leader in the industry in promoting the convergence of sustainability and paving the way for the next phase of growth in Islamic finance. Maybank Islamic remain committed to developing products that are centered on addressing customers' needs and sustainable practice that leave a positive impact on the wider community whilst further intensifying cross-border linkage within the region. The GCC markets and key financial centers across the world. Meanwhile, for Qatar Islamic Bank is the largest private bank in the country with 23 branches, more than 170 ATMs, and around 36% of the total assets of domestic Sharia compliant banks. QIB is also the second largest of all banks in Qatar with a market share of 10% of assets, financing and deposits. QIB is to provide innovative Sharia compliant financial solution and quality services to our customers to maximize return for our shareholders and partners, and to nurture an internal environment of qualified professionals and cutting-edge technology. QIB is also a leading, innovative, and global Islamic bank adhering to the highest Sharia and ethical principles, meeting international banking standards, partnering the development on the global economy, and participating in the advancement of the society. Now, let's move to the main activity of Maybank Islamic, which is the bank is principally engaged in the business of Islamic banking and the provision of related financial services such as Islamic investment intermediary, corporate banking, retail banking, SME banking, and mortgage financing. There were no significant changes in the principal activity during the financial year. But in Qatar Islamic Bank, they are a provider of corporate, retail, and investment banking solutions. The bank offers banking products and services based on Islamic Sharia. principles. QIB conducts its business through Islamic modes of financing such as sukuk, murabahah, mudarabah, musyarakah, musawamah, istisna, and ijarah. The bank provides a range of banking products and services, which comprise deposit service, personal and commercial loans, credit and debit cards, corporate service, private banking, phone banking, financial planning, wealth management, and internet banking services. The next is Board of Directors in Maybank Islamic. They have Datuk Zulkefli Abbas bin Abdul Hamid as a chairman and 6 members of BOD, which are Mr. Dali bin Sardar, Datuk Muhammad Anwar bin Yahya, Professor Dr. Aznan bin Hassan, Mr. Sharifuddin bin Khalid, Datuk Azmi bin Muhammad Ali, and Puan Natasha binti Kamaludin. Little bit different in Qatar Islamic Bank, which are they have one chairman, Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad bin Jassim bin Jabir Al Thani, 2 deputy chairman, Mr. Abdullah Al Mahmud and Mr. Muhammad bin Isa Al Muhannadi. Their member of board of director is Mr. Abdurrahman Abdullah Abdul Ghani, Mr. Mansur Muhammad Abdul Fattah Al Musli, Mr. Abdullah bin Said Muhammad Al Ida, Mr. Nasir Rashid, Sheikh Abdullah bin Khalid bin Tani Al Tani, and Sheikh Ali bin Ghani bin Ali Al Thani.
The components of annual report for Maybank and Qatar Islamic Bank. Firstly, for vision, mission, and values, in Maybank, they do not show in the annual report, but they show it in their websites. Meanwhile, Qatar Islamic Bank show the vision, mission, and values in the annual report, so that the clients can know about the direction and the goals of what to achieve in the bank. Secondly, for board of directors, each of the banks is showing every members of the board of directors, but in Maybank, they have shown the detailed background of the members and the experience they have. But for Qatar Islamic Bank, they just introduce the board of directors and the position they have in the bank. Next, statutory declaration. In Maybank, they provide statutory declaration as evidence of the statement whether in the annual report is true or not, while Qatar Islamic Bank are not providing the statutory declaration. Besides that, business review. Maybank do not have a business review for financial and non-financial information about the business and the performance in the bank, whereas Qatar Islamic Bank have a business review. It contains a QIB's ESG commitment, strong credit rating, and also awards and ranking of achievement to the bank.
Next, I will present about types of financial standard used by Maybank and Qatar Islamic Bank. For the Maybank, the financial standard that is used by Maybank has been prepared in accordance with the Malaysian Financial Reporting Standard (MFRS), International Financial Reporting Standard (IFRS), and the requirement of the Companies Act 2016 in Malaysia. Other than that, the Malaysian Financial Reporting Standards MFRS framework was introduced by the Malaysian Accounting Board (MASB). It is fully compliant with the International Financial Reporting Standard IFRS framework, which enhance the credibility and transparency of financial reporting in Malaysia. The financial standard that used by Qatar Islamic Bank were prepared in accordance with Financial Accounting Standard (FAS) issued by Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institution (AUFI), as modified by Qatar Central Bank. Not even that, as we all know, Qatar is the one of Muslim country. That's why Qatar Islamic Bank was exist. Qatar Islamic Bank focus on Muslim, and the transaction must be in accordance with Sharia law. And because of that, they use the Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institution Standard. However, for matters with no AUFI standard or related guidance exists, the group applies the relevant international financial reporting standards.
Next, I will talk about how the bank disclose their urea and RIA in the financial statement. But I will start with the urea first. In Maybank, they disclose their urea under liabilities in items of investment account of customers. As we can see, that it is stated the detail in note 16. It is a bit different with the Qatar Islamic Bank, where they disclose their urea under equity of unrestricted investment account, where it is in between of liabilities and equity. As we can see the details in note 21 for the detailed amount of it. The difference between these two ways of disclosure are based on the standard that each of the bank use. Now we will move to how the bank disclose their RIA. In Maybank, they disclose their RIA under restricted investment account managed by the bank, where it is between of total liabilities and shareholders' equity, and also total Islamic banking asset owned and managed by the bank. As we can see the detail how they disclose it in notes 16. For Qatar Islamic Bank, the way they disclose it is totally different than Maybank, where they disclose it under total equity attributable to equity holders of the bank.
Next, we move to the differences of components in the statement of financial position. For the liabilities in Maybank, their other liabilities are not including the provision for taxation and zakat, where they put it separately. Meanwhile, in Qatar Islamic Bank, their other liabilities include provision for employees and services benefits. This is because Qatar Islamic Bank are not pay zakat for their customers or investors. Not even that, in Maybank, they have a statutory deposit with Bank Negara Malaysia. Meanwhile, Qatar Islamic Bank does not have any statutory deposit. The differences of asset in the statement of financial position is the standard that used in Maybank and Qatar Islamic Bank are totally different, which is Maybank using the International Financial Reporting Standard, which is IFRS. Meanwhile, for Qatar Islamic Bank are using Standard Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institution, which is AUFI. This is because in the standard that had been used in Maybank have right of use assets, also known as the lease right to occupy, operate or hold a lease asset during the rental period. Meanwhile, Qatar Islamic Bank do not have it. Furthermore, the annual report of that year in Maybank have a cash and short-term funds, whereas for Qatar Islamic Bank of that year does not use short-term fund, but they use cash and balances with central bank. Other than that, as we can see at statement of financial position in Maybank, they show a specific items with a specific note. Rather than Qatar Islamic Bank, they show a general and show more specific in the notes that's given.
Next, for equity in statement of financial position, both of the bank is using the same meaning but in different terms. For Maybank, they use retained profit. Meanwhile, for Qatar Islamic Bank, they use retained earnings, which is that being the cumulative net earnings or profit of a company after accounting for dividend payment. Furthermore, equity in Maybank for other reserves has been transferred to or from retained profit accordance with BNM's financial reporting policy document that has been assessed and recognized with MFRS. For Qatar Islamic Bank, cornea was transferred to other reserves for retained earnings.
Next, the differences of income in statement of profit or loss. As we can see, in Maybank, they state the item specifically. Meanwhile, in Qatar Islamic Bank, they are just state the item generally and not very specific like Maybank. Not even that, the income that both of this bank got is also different, where Maybank's income comes from deposits, investment, accounts, and shareholders. Meanwhile, for Qatar Islamic Bank, they got the income from financing activity, investing activity, commission income, net foreign exchange gain, and other income. Hence, Maybank incomes are more to Malaysian investor, meanwhile Qatar Islamic Bank are more to foreigner customers, as we can see in notes 12, where they have Indian investor to their bank. Not even that, Maybank have impairment losses that need to be borne by the bank. Meanwhile, in Qatar Islamic Bank, they do not have the impairment losses. The impairment losses are usually the amount by which the carrying amount of an asset or cash generating unit is its recoverable amount. We can see the details in notes 29 to 30.
Next, I will talk about the expenses in so-called. Both of the bank are same but have a different way to disclose their expenses. We can see in the Maybank that they stated it generally where they put their remuneration and advertisement on the items overhead expenses. It is, as we can see in notes 33, it is way different than Qatar Islamic Bank, where they put their remuneration and advertisement in items other expenses, as we can see the details on the notes 30. Now I will move to the next one, which is profit before taxation and zakat. Basically, we have three of it. The first one is Maybank have taxation and zakat, meanwhile Qatar Islamic Bank only have taxation. It is because in Maybank, the bank will deduct and pay the zakat for the investors and also the shareholders, as we can see the details in note 2 under zakat. Meanwhile, in Qatar Islamic Bank, they do not have zakat because investors and shareholders will borne the zakat and the bank will not pay on behalf of them, as we can see in notes 37. Secondly, Maybank are using separate investment account method, or we call it as SYAFIQAH method. Meanwhile, for Qatar Islamic Bank, they are using pooling method, or we call it as PM method, as we can see that Maybank share the gross profit with the investors. Meanwhile, Qatar Islamic Bank share the profit at net income. And for the last one in Maybank, as we can see in note 36 under taxation, they have different tax that we can see in the detail in notes 20, where the different tax is basically the amount of income tax payable in future periods in aspect of taxable temporary differences. Meanwhile, in Qatar Islamic Bank, they do not have different tax and only have the current tax that we can see in notes 31.
That's all from our group. Thank you all for listening.